Of course, I have, for many years, I was an Australian diplomat and had the pleasure of visiting Vietnam. But this is my first overseas visit as Governor of South Australia. I've come through Singapore, but Ho Chi Minh City is my next stop because it's such a vibrant city in your wonderful nation, and there are growing links with my state of South Australia. We have at the national level a strategic partnership, and we are both working hard to double the number of exports between us, the value, and to double investment. And Ho Chi Minh City and this part of Vietnam is leading in that economic growth, which is beneficial for both countries. I'm also, of course, here at Scotch AGS because education is such an important part of the relationship between Australia and Vietnam. It has been for decades, but now it is possible for students from Vietnam here in Ho Chi Minh City to study at an Australian secondary school, Scotch AGS, and with a SACE qualification, the South Australian Certificate of Education, they will then be able to choose their university, whether in South Australia, or other universities around the world. Education in South Australia, whether students travel to South Australia or whether they study here in Vietnam, is a very high quality education. It has particular objectives to help students develop their critical thinking, to help students learn how to solve problems, and to help develop their social skills. Adelaide itself is a very welcoming environment. It's a city of only just a little more than 1 million people, so not too big. Very friendly, very welcoming, a very strong Vietnamese community in South Australia, and of course students from Vietnam are made to feel welcome. They typically do very well and they succeed academically and socially. Well, in general, I think we can see that there is a growing demand for high quality education globally, but including in countries like Vietnam, which are developing rapidly, where there is a growing middle class, where there's always been a very strong emphasis on the importance of education. It's highly valued. And so, of course, South Australian schools and universities see an opportunity to help meet that demand, but it's also very beneficial for students in Australia to have the presence in their classrooms of students from other countries, including Vietnam, where students work hard and they are keen to succeed, and they understand that a high quality education provides a pathway to a future career, potentially at the global level. Well, it is the first time I've been to Scotch AGS, and I must say I met a big group of Year 10 students who were very impressive. There was a presentation, a research presentation from one student, which really, I think, had all of us thinking, wow. I've seen some students in the science lab. I've seen some students having an English lesson, studying a novel by an Australian author. So what I have is a sense of energy, a sense of a respectful learning place, but a learning place where students can also be themselves, feel that they belong, and study hard. Well, look, in the education area, I think there are a number of things that we can do. And of course, Scotch College in South Australia has a very good, excellent reputation. Scotch AGS is growing its reputation here in Ho Chi Minh City. I think South Australian public universities and South Australian secondary schools understand that there is a two-way element to education, and Australia has been sending students also into Asia, including in Vietnam through the New Colombo Plan. But Study Adelaide, the organisation that supports students from overseas, makes them feel welcome, has just today donated 6 scholarships to enable 6 students in Ho Chi Minh City to study at Vietnamese universities here. So I think we understand that education has two-way responsibilities, that we can learn a lot together and enrich the learning environment for each other. I think for young people, education opens doors. Education creates pathways. Education enables students to fulfill their potential, whether that be training as professionals, as doctors or lawyers, or as business people, as entrepreneurs, as teachers themselves. I think there is a real sense of energy and growth and progress here in Ho Chi Minh City. And I think students will want to be part of the city's future and will want to be able to contribute all the more because of the quality of their education. That's a very good question, and I think that the points I made earlier about being able to think critically, being able to solve problems, being able to interact comfortably socially in other environments, including other language environments, whether in person or virtually. I think young people are very aware of what the big problems are, including in relation to climate change, the environment, sustainability. There are all sorts of issues that concern young people. And I think a really good education will better equip them to help solve those problems or deal with those problems in the ways that they want to. Inevitably, much of that will involve cross-border collaboration, working with people from other backgrounds, other languages, other disciplines of study. And I think students here at Scotch AGS, and I'm sure more broadly across Ho Chi Minh City, I think they understand that, and so do their parents.